morning, Gauchos. I'm Gavin, the Marketing Director for AS, and today I'm joined with Anne Metzger, the AS President. Anne, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi Gauchos, my name is Leanne. I'm a fourth year majoring in communication, global studies, and Spanish, and I'm super thrilled to be serving as your student body president this year.
We're happy to have you, Leanne. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your position?
Yeah, so as AS president, I represent our 23,000 undergraduate students to UCSB administration, UC administration, and also our state and local governments. And I also lead our associated students, and I work to allocate our $16 million budget of student fees so that we properly represent and advocate for students on a multitude of levels, whether it be food security, bike safety, mental health, environmental advocacy. There's a really wide range of things that we do.
So why did you want to join AS? What made you want to become the president?
Yeah, so I was looking to get involved my freshman year, and so I was looking for leadership positions within AS, and I came across our Commission on Student Wellbeing, and I started out as a nutrition coordinator there, and I really enjoyed planning events, and I started an initiative, the Finals Essentials booth, which still happens every quarter, and I really enjoyed reaching out to students and helping students, feel better, and I've really enjoyed how I could make an impact, use student fees to actually improve student life. So I decided to run for president last year because I wanted to expand the impact I had, whether it be basic needs or professional development, basically anything that helps students thrive at UCSB.
Yeah, you mentioned student life is an important part of your role. What are some things that you're excited about for the coming year?
Okay, so some projects that I've already been working on this year, for one, the library hours. So the library recently closed its 24/7 library, and that obviously impacted students a lot. And so me and some of my AS colleagues, we've been working a lot with the library to bridge the gap in funding so that we can keep the library open for longer for students. So we recently got them to expand the hours from 7 a.m. to 3 a.m., and we're still working on finding funding to reopen it 24/7. And then, in terms of some projects that I've been working on, I'm really focused on student outreach and making sure that students know that they have an associated students, a student government that's there for them, that can advocate for them and provide them with so many resources. So some ways that I've been working on that are our AS newsletter, which goes out every month to students, which has never been done before, so that's really exciting. And I'm hoping it's a way that students can have all the resources available to them, including all the open positions and all the upcoming events and the resources all in one spot to make it easier. And then I've also been doing coffee with the president at the Arbor, just to, increase interaction with students, and everyone enjoys a good cup of coffee and donut. And then I also hosted the AS Kickoff Fair at the beginning of the year, which had tabling from almost all of our 40 AS groups, so that students could really see all in one space, this is everything that AS does. I also worked on AS1, which is our annual leadership conference, so that students could be properly prepared with leadership and AS training for the year to excel in their positions. And then I also have been working on changes to our Pyramid Fellowship program to make it a better mentorship program for new students to get involved in AS, which I'm really excited about. It's going to be a really good program this year.
Some really cool stuff, and a lot of things directly to the students. What is something that most students don't know about your role?
Yeah, so as I kind of hinted at, Associate Students is a lot bigger than just a few students in student government. AS has over 40 groups that cover a wide range of topics. So, we have our Commission on Student Wellbeing that deals with mental and physical health. We've got our Environmental Affairs Board. We've got our book bank, our food bank, our bike shop. We also have Human Rights Board. We have a newspaper. We have a radio station. A really wide range. So if you're interested in getting involved in AS, we have a place for anyone at UCSB, so you can always keep an eye out on our Committee on Committees website to look for open positions. And also our meetings are also open to the public. We've got a spreadsheet with all of our meeting times and locations. And then, something else that I think students don't necessarily know is that I have direct conversation with UCSB and UC administration. So I meet with the chancellor and all our vice chancellors regularly. I meet with different departments on campus. And then I also meet with UC-wide administration. So I meet with all the, I have meetings with all the UC undergrad presidents and graduate presidents. And then we also meet with the UC Office of the President. And those are really good spaces to advocate on the high level for student needs.
Yeah, that's really cool. You mentioned a lot of projects and a lot of ways that you've been helping students. What's your proudest AS accomplishment that you've had?
So this is a project that I worked on over the past year and a half, and it's to provide Narcan in residence halls and university apartments. This is a project that I became really passionate about starting freshman year, and there was just really limited access to Narcan, limited knowledge about Narcan despite the rising fentanyl crisis in the United States. So I was able to work with Gauchos for Recovery and AS and student housing, and we made it possible. And now there's cabinets in all of our dorms and apartments that contain Narcan in case of an emergency.
That's really cool.
Okay.
So what projects are you currently working on for this upcoming year?
So some things my office is currently working on are, one of the projects is Ivy Farmers Market. So it's already started and it'll be happening approximately every 2 weeks. And I'm really hoping to just increase food access in Ivy. So that's a really exciting project. Some other things are our mental health town hall, which will be happening in winter quarter, and leading up to that we'll be doing a lot of mental health events. A big project our environmental team is working on is UCSB Earth Month, which will happen in April because Earth Month did originate in Santa Barbara. And kind of related to that, we're going to be working on increasing our eco-coalition meetings so that there can be better coordination and solidarity amongst our many environmental orgs on campus. And then also I've been working a lot on undocumented student protections and finding ways to educate and inform the student body on ways to protect undocumented students.
What are some challenges you face being the AS president?
Yeah, so I think one of them is definitely balancing time, being a student, having a social life, and being able to also prioritize my classes while also prioritizing this position. And then I think something else is that, I think as a student leader, you want things to move really fast and keep going. And I think on the university level, things can't always happen in 1 year. And so I think, managing expectations and knowing that things won't always turn out exactly how I want to, but taking that and moving forward and trying to have as much positive impact as I can during my time here, while also setting up the next cohort of students for success to continue the work as opposed to starting from scratch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's important to have realistic goals, even though you might want to do everything. You can't always. How do you balance AS duties with classes and your social life?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely difficult, but staying organized is really important. I heavily use Google Calendar to coordinate all my meetings, and definitely it's important for me to plan out my weeks and prioritize my tasks while also, reserving days where I just rest or hang out with friends so that I don't burn out.
Definitely. What kind of legacy do you hope to leave behind at the end of the year, at the end of your term?
Yeah, so I'm kind of hoping to just leave an associate students that's more engaged with each other across the association and more engaged with the student body, setting up efficient and transparent processes that better connect us with students. Student outreach is really important to me, and so I'm hoping to set up things like the newsletter or regular events. And I'm hoping that AS can take these and move forward with them year to year so that students know more and more about AS and the resources that are available to them and how to access them. Overall, I'm hoping to leave behind an AS that collaborate better with each other overall, just to work better, to have a better impact on students.
I think that's really important. Well, that's all the questions I have for you today, but thank you again for being here, Leanne.
Thank you.
And Getchos, go follow Leanne on Instagram at UCSB President, and we'll see you next time.